Oh, I said walking and talking. I can hear birds and stuff back in the distance, just a chirping away. I'm gonna pace myself. I just decided to do a short live stream. Of course, I'm not at the gravel road or anything. I'm on the little side road that leads up to. I wish I had put my shorts on. I've got these flannel pants on, which were fine if I was just laying around at the trailer. And of course, being low on iron has made me feel a little bit cooler. But it's pretty warm. I mean, it's like I think it's in the low 80s. Which is not real hot, it's just warm. And it's let's see. I didn't give anybody a heads up really, or schedule this, particularly just because I came out to just walk. I haven't walked today, and oh, I'm gonna sit down for a second. This is right here's it's an old post that's like a light post that's kind of knocked down or something, and sat here forever. Hope I don't break these. Oh, I got a little duffel bag on my side with me, so if I find any rocks or anything, I'm not sure I'll have any, but I guess I'll walk down to the gravel road. I'm gonna look at the gravel. That's the old dirt road. I'm gonna look. Oh, okay. Yeah, someone had explained to me there's a delay, I guess. I think there's a delay. But I think the delay comes if I'm on Restream. Like, I didn't realize until recently that when I'm on Restream, there's a small delay in how quick I see someone's chat. I think if you type in a chat here, and I'm using like I'm going through the YouTube app right now. Look at old Biddy. She was over in that old pond. Look at her. She got some green old gunk on her face. What you got there? Got some of that algae. Some of that algae. Get that now. Get down. Go on, baby. Come on now. Yeah, I'm gonna clean up after I get back. I'm gonna wash myself up when I get back, but right now I don't need to get anywhere. Well, Daddy, it don't matter. If you're gonna clean up, then what does it matter if I get you dirty? That's what she's saying. I guess that water feel good to her. Chewy ain't with us today, thank goodness. I'm gonna sit here for a minute. Being how I felt earlier. Yeah, I seen your text. I do know. Just being anemic, like being low on iron in general does drain energy, which I'm taking a supplement and everything. But on top of that, I have the liver disease. And a fatty liver is gonna makes you lethargic and slow too. So in the combination of both things, I imagine that doesn't help either. Of course, earlier when I felt the way I hadn't took any kratom until like just before I decided to walk. I took 2 capsules. I'm trying to limit myself today. Like I was going to see about not taking it at all today, and I know that like when you stop for a few days, it'll affect it'll affect the mood and stuff a little bit. It's just like if someone's drinking coffee all the time and they stop, they get a little bit. I mean, I've never had nothing bad happen, but anyway, I went ahead and took 2 though. Like I had, usually by now I've took a couple or 3, and like that kind of boosts me. It kind of usually gives me a little. So I realized earlier I was a little groggy just from that too. There's something that I hadn't already taken. I drank a cup of coffee, but I didn't take any of that, and so my goal is not to take any more after the. I'm gonna come back from the walk, get cleaned up. That'll probably make me feel better. Change the sheets on my bed so that tonight, whatever rest I get will be probably a little bit better rest, just because I haven't changed my sheet in a few days or so. I can't remember exactly. Let me try to get up here. I want to try to get mobile. The longer I sit and babble. Hold on a second. I'm going to sit y'all down for a second. Because get a drink of water. No. But I thought, see, what did you say? Yeah, you know, Betty's anemic anyway. She's always been, and like, you know, when she goes to give plasma, a lot of times she'll be too low on her iron for her to give. Like, I mean, it hadn't happened in a while, but I can just tell, like, from knowing her. There's you some cows. Little baby ones right there. There's a lot of young ones over there they put out. They just brought these over here this past week, I think, into this field. A lot of younger ones. But I don't know if y'all can see them over there. They're kind of making their way around over that way, most of them. There's a red heifer in there too. But like, just know what I know from being around Betty. She deals with you know, like, she's always lethargic and like has a hard time getting going a lot of times. Like, if she's got stuff to do, she'll get up and do it just like I do if I have to. But when, like today, you know, I got up, I did some reading and stuff, and I had kind of an idea and was going to go ahead and do my video this morning, and I just was like heavy eyed. My eyes got heavy again. Of course, a little of that, I think that bud I got is more of a downer bud. It's kind of like more of a sedative feeling. It's got like a higher ICA ratio. So like it, and you know, I hadn't been smoking a lot lately, so smoked one of those this morning, and that kind of relaxed me. This cooler weather too in the mornings makes it just more a little harder for me to you okay, girl? What are you doing? What are you doing, oh baby? Thanks for hitting the like button. I see that a couple of you guys have hit it, and I don't always think about saying it. There's those moo-moos. What y'all doing, moo-moos? See how the babies, bunch of youngins. I don't see the red one over. It was over the other day. Oh, it's out in the field further out now. It's on the ground. So yeah, I flip it around for a second, but I think it works better if I have the camera around where y'all can see kind of what I'm looking at. To me, what's the point of really going around walking if I'm just showing my face? I can be doing that at the trailer, but come here, baby. Try to make her. She's pretty good at knowing to get off the road and stuff. Yeah, that's my baby right there. That's that big old baby. Big bitty baby. Old bitty butt. Okay, there was a car I saw coming this way, but I think it turned down. It turned down the gravel road. And then I'll show you a little ways up there. I don't know how far I would say it is, but up there's the gravel road, crossroad. Just a little ways up here. When I get back, I make some. What I ate earlier, like I ate a little bit before I normally eat. I just made me some of them fries. Like put them in the air fryer. That was easy. Something I can make, eat pretty quick, and then I just then I made the video. Or I think I made the video while the fries were doing. And then after the video, I think you can see it up there now. I think I have my stabilizer turned off maybe on the camera. It could be. And I don't know if it works when I'm using the app. So if it's shaky. Because but you know, I'm realizing like I'm gonna have more days that are gonna be like, whether it's like the key for me to remember is that whether I get some, like once we get through having the colonoscopy and we see what the actual problem is, I'm just trying to remember that it could be like something of a worst case to the most minute of a case of something that's easily fixed and gone on with. And in any circumstance, no matter the severity of what's causing any of what's going on, I still got to deal with it. So it doesn't matter if it seems to be a big major issue, life-threatening, or if it's, you know, somewhat minor. Like anything that might have to be resolved. Here's that spider. I don't know, can y'all see it? It's right there. Still eating on something. I don't know if that's been... He's there every day though. Or she. Okay. This might have turned out a little better if but you know, like I didn't want to, I was on the side of the road when when I just made the decision to say, well, let's do live. I'm enjoying doing this kind of thing because it keeps me occupied. And I think if people tune in to see what's going on, it's something a little interesting, a little scene changing. Maybe, you know, especially if you have if you're like me and can't be getting, like I know I can get out on my own and move around, but I still don't get out a lot. So just even walking up the road here and coming around and looking at nature, and even if it's the same scenery every day, it's still just something. It's something more than sitting and looking at four walls the entire day and trying to like rattle my brain and figure out like maybe what to do next, which some days it's good for that. And I thought that today would be... Where are you from? I'm up in, I'm from Tennessee, but I'm living in Alabama. That's where I live right now. Been living here for about 6 years. and before Alabama, I was living in North Carolina for like about 11 years. Sorry if I just now seen the question. HT Music. That's cool. I've got to get a little bit more motivated, but Emil can tell you, I'm struggling with a little bit of iron, like I've got an iron deficiency going on, and we're trying to figure out what that is, which could be a number of things. Hopefully it's nothing to the most extreme, and I mean, I need to stop talking about it, but I think it's only natural that some of this is going to be on my brain, because, you know, they say there's probably some kind of bleeding in the colon, so they want to check that and see what it is. We want to make sure, whatever it is, that it's, you know, not the C word. And if it is, then hopefully we're finding something soon enough to take appropriate action or whatever. But I think I got my point out the other day, or just a little bit ago. I don't know, not the other day. No, I don't have a farm. I rent a shitty trailer. And I just say that because it is kind of run down. It's really old. You know, I'm you know, grateful that I rent where I rent and have where I have, and it's a fairly inexpensive rent compared to what it's went up to, and a lot of people. But I'm kind of been there for a while, so up here somewhere. Up here's where I walk up. All this farmland here is like owned by somebody. Like across the way there's their house. I don't know if you can see it. But across the way over there is the people that own that particular, some of that land right there. Some of the land we walked by was owned by somebody different. I was up in there the other day. Up. It'd be nice to have a farm. I wish that I could have, well, I don't wish, because I could have probably done it, but I just never did secure myself enough in life. Didn't buckle down at some point. I just went too crazy for a long time. Just wild, not caring a lot about things other than just being out there and floating around with the wind. So that took a lot of my time up, and I didn't end up doing some of the things that I studied about and wanted to do, as far as if I ever could have achieved a way to obtain some land with either by myself or with a group of people. It would have been cool to had said land and some conditions set, and tried to be as self-sufficient as possible if we could, and create like somewhat of like a community that could have been, you know, hopefully cooperative and work together. I always kind of had that idea, wanted to do something like that, where we grew most of our own food, raised our own food, if it was any animals involved. Let's sit down here for a second. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a little break. Hey, baby. That's a good little jolt from where I sat down first. Hey, my baby. What you doing, baby? Yeah. Hey, my bitty. Hey, my bitty. Yeah. You pretty. Hey, my pretty bitty. Yeah. I love old bitty. Oh, bitty. Yeah. These are good. We come in here and I sit on this log right here. You can see where it's uprooted a long time ago. And then right where the root probably came out of, hold on a minute. Something's made it a burrow somewhat. Like something at some point has decided to make that its home, I guess. But I don't believe it still resides there. I think it's probably an older burrow. I can wander up in here. There's some cool like logs and things to look at when I go in there. I've took pictures and stuff. Oh. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of something fun to look at while you're listen to me babble, or my doggy dog. And sometimes I think I'm babbling, and I'm really not. I'm just sharing with y'all a little bit of concern about. I'm out here. Like I realized that. So, you know, no matter what's going on with me, I'm obviously feeling and experiencing a little bit of low energy here lately. So some days I just have to push myself to do some of the bare minimum on the physical route, like as far as getting out and making a good jet at walking, you know, like maybe I'm not walking miles at a time, but to stay active is going to keep me, it's going to only help, you know what I'm saying? Like the less active I am. So like I can understand I didn't feel like getting out as early as sometimes I do, but about an hour ago when I decided, hey, I'm going to go for a walk, I was like, you know what? I've laid around for a little while. I got up, I did what I did. I went, laid back down. I got up again, you know, like I said, about an hour ago and was like, okay, I can't just sit here and be completely like not doing anything. And so, and I didn't feel like hopping on the phone and watching like any kind of YouTube or any of that kind of, that's not what I mean by doing anything. I want to make sure that if I'm doing anything like that, I'm trying to reserve that as much as possible to the evening time, you know, like after I feel like I've done a few things, either chore wise or just even recreational, like for the being out here and walking around and stuff is kind of recreational, kind of fun. I like to, you know, this is like, it's not really the woods, but it gives me a sense of being somewhat connected when I can crawl off or walk off in here in a little wooded area and sit down and or wander around and just, it reminds me of when I was in the woods back in 2008 over in Tennessee, and I lived there for about 3 months in the cold part of winter. First started really going by the name Greycloud and everything. This gravel road is where you'll find me. That's where I find my different fossils and stuff. Little, you know, Indian money, Native American money. HT music. What kind of music you make? Trying to. Do you play instruments or sing or just do you make beats? Could be a number of things, huh? I can play the drums. I'm not a great drummer or anything, but I can keep a beat. And do have a small, tiny kit that Mike Marinetta sent me. I haven't been playing it much. It's a tiny little kid's kit, you know, from Amazon, but it sounds rather good for what it is, for as small as it is. I've just had other things sometimes going on in a day, and I say that meaning my brain mostly. Trying to stay mobile right now while I'm doing the live. Like, it's good for me to sit down and stuff, but I want to keep you guys, like, give you something fresh because I have the opportunity to. Like I said earlier, to me, to do a live stream and I'm out and about. Now, unless I just have something really heavy on my brain and I have to be talking about it too much, which I have mentioned some of what's on my brain, but I don't want to dwell there. That's the whole point of getting out here. Now, the other day, I found this, and I just haven't brought it home yet. This piece here, I like this because you see this right here. At first, well, actually, I think that could be, but I'm not sure. I know it's definitely crystallized as quartz in there, and but when I first found it, I thought it might be a big fossil. And now that I look at it, I'm not quite sure if it ain't one of those things I've been finding that are a lot smaller that I find a lot of. But they make those rings like that, and I guess it could have been in there, and then when it was formed inside before this broke, some of it already was forming, crystallizing, because that's quartz there. But that's a pretty cool. It was a lot bigger piece. I kind of broke part of it off so I could just get that. That would be more handleable, like easier to handle. I don't know what that is. That's not anything that I think, actually, it's a piece of that, I think. But see, there's quartz right there on top. So I might bring that back with me because I do have this duffel bag on my side now. That's a good little spot to sit down too on the side of the road. And so now that I'm out and about, I feel a little better, you know, like getting in motion, getting out here and just moving around, talking to you guys, sharing a little bit of the scenery is kind of livening me up. Of course, I'd spent part of the early part of the day just kind of loafing around a little bit. Sometimes I go down here because like I found some of my stuff over here, but like one of the first days that I found several good little finds was on up here, down here, in another little kind of lower end area where water kind of passes underneath the road again. You can tell I'm wearing myself out, but this is good. I mean, I like to think that I need to take advantage, you know, especially with not knowing what is maybe ahead of me. I could have some heavy challenges coming that I just have to like accept and go on with. And so like I really need to take advantage of each moment I can still get out and do, even if it's the bare minimum. Like, this might not seem like a lot to somebody, but just being able to walk down this road here and enjoy a good day. And then on plus, I'll add to that, being able to stream it and share it with some of the people that want to tune in and that are watching or listening to me. You can see over here, something dug something in there at one point. I believe there's an ant colony here. There's a bunch of roly-polies. Roly-polies, and I'm sure there's ants in there too. There's a little spider. Well, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? All that's drying up, that field of crops. I think that was cotton. I don't know if it was or not, though. No, it was corn. Well, shit, I can't remember now that it's drying up and stuff. I don't remember what was there. They've rotated it over the few years. Like one year it'll be something, then the next year might be something different, you know. Guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. You know, like, once again, I didn't do the restream thing because I thought, I use restream when I think there might be somebody interested in coming on, and then, you know, I can do it easier. But I think with that kind of thing, I want to be more stationary. Like if there's going to be like a possibility of a guest, you know, popping in, whether I ask them specifically or they just come in and are communicating in the chat, and then we work something out and they come on or whatever. That's when I usually go live with Restream, because my intention is, well, plus I'm learning a little bit more how to use it if I'm on the laptop, but of course I'm not at the trailer right now, so I wasn't gonna. I think trying to do Restream and walk around, and then if you were going to have a guest on, it would just be kind of goofy for me to be walking around trying to show off new scenery, and it wouldn't be too appropriate, I don't think. Be kind of rude to the guests, probably. But I'm walking down the gravel road, old dirt road, walking down the old dirt road. Gray cloud, what do you know? What do you know? Oh, gray cloud, no, I don't know much, no. Oh, can I touch my feet? I don't know. Oh. Do I got to take a leak? No. I don't know. I'm improvising. Excuse me, guys, if it's no good. This is a good spot. Like, I found out that these are, look at this right here. If you can see these lines in this rock. I looked up and took some pictures the other day. I might get that because that's a pretty good, it's not a fossil per se, but it's apparently, it's where when, like they said, glaciers were moving across land, like imagine the Ice Age. And so these are supposed to be some kind of, they're lines caused by some of the ice and moving. Like you can see right here too, look. There's a lot of these down here in this area. All up and through here, like different areas, there's like stuff. Yeah, man, I'm digging doing it. I think it's just a matter of doing it and getting out there and getting used to it. And I like I said, I haven't used the, and I think you understand, I've mentioned several times why I haven't necessarily done the gimbal per se yet. I still haven't practiced with it in a while. I've just had stuff on my brain and I'm just kind of like working with what I got. But sometimes, most of the time when I go live, I'm not thinking particularly when I leave the place that I'm necessarily going to go live. I just kind of get down the road and then I go, that's pretty cool, I think. I have like a weird, kind of like, what do you call it? Like I have a weird process in my brain on particularly what's catching my eye. There's a lot of things sometimes that'll catch my eye. Whoa. What's this? Look at this. Hold on. Uh-oh. That's a good one. Look. Hold on. Heck yeah. Okay, we got a good one there. That's a good find. Yeah. Hey guys, that's cool. Those are the things that I'm kind of looking for. And then if you look, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That big rock back there, that indention in that big rock could have easily been one of these type of things that just was bigger. Now, how did I just happen to... That's the fun of this. That is the fun of this. I'm going to put that one in my pocket. That's not going in that big duffel bag. Now, a lot of times, I'll find... Like, a lot of times when I find one... I look in the same area because the possibility of like that might have broke off from a bigger chunk. Now, of course, you never know because this is just random graded stones that are ever so often they come down through here and use the thing and then stir it all back up. That'd be the best time to come on here or down here. Let's see here. But I'm trying to pay attention to if y'all are saying anything to me and at the same time and explore and have a fun day with or while I can. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. It kind of helps. Hopefully, you know, it helps the process that they read to whatever computer system that's reading my content and then hopefully figuring out where to push it to, like the right type of audience and stuff. Look at that. Do you see that glistening there? Let's see if we can get that. I'm gonna try to, I don't know if you can, but like say I'm trying to look at it and the sun's kind of glaring on the screen, but I'm trying to shine it where it'll be a little sparkly there. That might be a keeper. Of course, that's like a part where it was forming sort of a geode, you know, or a process. I'm going to put that into, I do like that. That fossil is over 50 million years old. Oh, okay. But, not trying to sound like a broken record, but I was just mentioning hitting the like button because I noticed a few extra people watching, and if they don't, no big deal, but if you do, it does help. Look at that. That's some more good lines right there in the... See, I can find those like all day long. Those are all... When I first found it, like when I spotted one of these specimens, I was like, oh, that's a fossil. I thought it was like a shell or something, you know, the lines. But I took a picture and Googled it, and it was what I was talking about. Like, it's some kind of ice where it was scraping the surface level of the ground at that time. Whew, I'm wore out a little bit. Look at all that pasture, man. It's nice pasture land. Right up down, like right above that hill right there, over to the left is like an old building, and then a bunch of old farm equipment. And right now, I don't feel like, you can see as I get just a little ways up there, it'd be right in the sun. I would walk up there to show y'all that stuff a little bit more up close, but I'm kind of trying to regroup here right now and just not overdo it. One day, I think I'll come down here and do a stream that and plan that, like just have the intention of kind of wandering out here a little further and showing off some of the cool stuff that on the old country roads you can see, you know. Always cool stuff to especially if you're in a car on some of these old country roads out here in Alabama. A lot of cool stuff to spot as you're traveling around. I always enjoy going, like on my payday when I get a ride and go out somewhere, you know, especially if we're going to like another town that's like 20 or 30 minutes away. Let's see here. Hold on a minute. I think I found something. Look at this. That's another piece. Yeah, man. It's another piece there. So I found two good little specimens, you know. And I'm sure they got different names. Uh-oh. Whoa. That's a really gnarly one. Look at this. Hold on. Let me get in the sunlight. Is that not? That's a third one, dude. Hell yeah. Like, can you hear the excitement in my voice? Like I'm like a little kid, man. That's the fun. See, it's like this moment in time here that I'm sharing with you guys. That's what I got to remember. That's what life's about. It's something you had said to me earlier in a text, Emil, about, you know, like, I wasn't feeling that great, but to know that I can still get out and do something, you know, I got to be grateful for that. But sometimes also I got to listen to whatever my body's telling me. Like if at the moment it's saying, you know, slow it down, then I slow it down. But, you know, it just needed a little extra rest, I think, this morning. Man, that's pretty cool, dude. You would think that I wouldn't spot stuff that quickly, especially if I'm holding my phone and walking around through here and trying to see what made me look at this particular spot. This particular thing is, I don't know if you can see it, but right there, that's actually where one was. That's one of those things. Oh, look at this. God darn it. Is that the fourth one? They're tiny, but man, that's really cool. That one was pretty big. So, okay, that's a fourth one. Hey, I'm going to keep rolling with it. Maybe it's good luck to be streaming. Let me put this down here. Oh man. I might have to sit down in a minute. Let me pick up these headphones before y'all give me a second. I'm gonna get a drink of water. So I found, well, this was just like a geotype forming thing. But then I found like, what, 4 of those small, 4 of those small specimens. Let me see if I can get them out of my pocket real quick. And we'll look at them. That's pretty exciting. Yeah. I'm excited anyway, guys. Yeah, 4. That one's really nice size. Hey, what's up, Thikimoto? What's up? I'm out here looking around in these stones and stuff and these rocks. I don't know if you just saw that. Here, I'll pull them out of my pocket again. Looking for these little fossils and stuff you can find around here. When I was growing up, they told me it was Indian money, which, you know, nowadays the correct way to say it would be Native American money. But apparently, you know, different fossils and things you could find. Different things like that. Certain Native American tribes throughout North America, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, would find these type of things in probably a lot better shape as well. I think the way I was taught was like the longer they were, the more valuable they were, like the more intact. So that was like used in trade and stuff back in the day. Pretty good source of something to use as a barter system, I think. So there you go. I was just showing that off again. Praise the Lord. Hope your day is blessed. Yeah, you know, it is. I'm trying to specifically remember if I've communicated with you at some point. Your title sounds familiar. And you'll have to forgive me if we have and I don't remember off the bat. And I'm trying to also remember as I'm holding this phone, when I lean over a certain way, sometimes it's turning the phone sideways and maybe disconnecting for a second. I'm trying to pay attention to that. But you can see I'm just kind of walking around. In this one area alone, I found 4 things already. And then I'll count that 5th thing, that geode-like thing. But I'm just kind of, you know, to have the ability to look through, like, I remember when I first got into like gemstones and crystals and stuff, I would tell people, you know, you're talking to a dude that when I was a kid going to, now look at that. Whoa, that's a good find. Even though it's, yeah, look, there's 3 spots on here. That one. Man, I'm really, I mean, I don't have to keep every single thing, but like I said, this is bringing back when I was a kid. And I would tell people, if at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, I could be in a creek just finding any old rock and be amazed at it, you can only imagine what it's like, you know, when I've been able to go into like a specialty store that has a bunch of different types of stones and stuff. Uh-oh, I found another good. I was thinking that I remember your handle. So I just wanted to see if I was correct. There's, whoa. Hold on. I don't know how I'm doing this, but this is awesome, dudes. Look at this. I do know how I'm doing it. I'm just out here doing it. So there we go. Another one. That's like number 5 of those. And then where's that rock I had just now? Uh-oh. Where'd I sit it down? Okay. Didn't I have something? There's something there too. Goodness gracious. Of course, I'm not going to keep that. I'm not going to keep a big old rock like that just for that little small, that small of a thing. But I did have something, I thought. But anyway, that was a pretty good find. Just, I think I might have missed. What did I do with it? I did have something. Well, that's a pretty gnarly stuff there. Yeah, I need to sit down, y'all. I'm getting a little lightheaded. I'm going to sit down and talk to y'all for a minute. Then I'll wrap this up so I can kind of like not be talking and kind of look at the same time. I got to remember, today started off, like I said, with somewhat of a low energy. And, I was up and wanting to do stuff, but then, when I just get this, like an overwhelming, just heaviness in my eyes, sometimes the best thing for me to do is to listen to it and lay down for a little bit. Yeah, Tikimoto, oh, yeah, I'd be a rich Native American. Yeah, finding all this different, I'm actually looking right now as we're talking, but I'm able to see it. The other day I did that, and I found it to be, I did that yesterday, but I also did that down here right where I'm at the other day. I think I was up a little further, and I sat down, and where I was sitting, I was like, the sun was hitting at the right moment. Like right now, the sun's hitting in the spot where, well, you see, I can just kind of glance through here. I can glance through here and just kind of, if something sparkles or, I don't know, I'm just, as I'm talking to you guys and everything, I'm observing my environment as well. So I'm looking at stones and rocks even after I'm sitting down taking a break. But yeah, so like when I was a kid, one of my favorite things to do when I'd go out to my granny Luna's, my granny on my dad's side of the family was Luna, and she worked at a boat dock, Morris Ferry boat dock out on Timms Ford Lake early on when I was little, and I'd go out there with her on the weekends, and I'd roam around. I'd go out on the docks. I'd fish. I'd catch turtles, salamanders, all kinds of different stuff. And I'd just kind of come back and forth from the store front, and then go back out and just wander around. I got to know there were certain people that lived down there, like in campers, and you'd get to know those people, and then all the different fishermen. But also, my granny lived right up the road from my dad, which, after my mom and dad divorced, my dad for several years still owned cattle and pasture, and there was like a lot of farmland to wander around on as a kid. Like at 5, 6, 7 years old, I'd run in the hills. The only rules were, be back by lunchtime and eat. Then I'd go back out and run around again till a certain time in the evening. If I was going to be out kind of, just come in every so often and check with my granny. So those were like, and there was a couple of little, it was like a creek, but it wasn't always running. It was like, so the water didn't always run out of it, but it would lead out towards where the lake was. And in that creek, I could go down there and find huge rocks, and in these rocks would be fossilized seashells and different things like that. And then there was one spot where we lived, that my mom and I lived. She had a house built after the divorce and stuff. And where we lived, we weren't far from the lake. And you could go down and follow the creek down to this spot where some of the people that lived down by the water had boats and stuff. But right around there, when the tide was down, there was a good place to find the Indian money, the Native American money, and stuff too. So those were fun times, and like I just would find just different normal rocks interesting. So when I started getting into, like I said, learning about gemstones and crystals and stuff, like I was like a kid 10 times fold, but just an adult. One time I got to go to Arkansas and mine some quartz crystals. That was fun and fairly cheap. I'd like to be able to do that again. It was cheap. You could pay for a cheap primitive campsite, and the amount of digging you could do in a day's time was pretty cheap. I'm sure it's more expensive now, but at that time you were paying $10 a day, I think, to dig, and or $10 or something maybe a day for primitive camping, or 20, and then like I think it was 20 a day, but you could dig through their dirt and get as many crystals as you could find, and it was plentiful. Very fun stuff. But guys, hey, what's up, nature girl? Okay, well, I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer now that you popped in. I didn't know. I was looking at the time. Oh, what I've been doing, nature girl, is I'm sitting on the side of the road here. I'm on the gravel road. You can tell, Emil can tell you, I've been looking for, hold on a minute, trying to keep my mind occupied and also just stay positive. And then, so I'm looking for, fossils of these. We were talking about it. Like I said, when I was growing up, I was taught that this was a particular thing that Native Americans used in trade. Like if you could find whole specimens of these, they would be worth more. The broken up ones, I imagine, didn't get you a lot. But, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep my mind in the right place. But right now I'm sitting down, taking a small break. I've been out here for you can see I've been streaming. I started the stream about 52 minutes ago, almost an hour ago. I hope you're doing all right. But I've been doing a few of these live streams where I'm just kind of randomly deciding to go live, and I thought, and they're kind of turning out pretty good. There's my dog, Biddy. Oh, Biddy, Biddy, Biddy. What you doing, Biddy, 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 boo, Biddy? Biddy, boo. Biddy, boo, boo. Biddy, boo, boo, booty, boo, boo. Biddy is a pretty girl. Now, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself on the ball bar, baby. Yeah, he's my good girl. He's my good girl. Here's our baby right there. He's a big old baby. Yeah, so, I've been calling her Biddy Boo here lately. But just in this spot alone, you can ask Emil. I literally was walking around talking to people. Like there was a few people in the chat, Emil and somebody, Thikimoto, and then maybe somebody else. But people were watching, listening, and I was standing up, walking around, and I don't know, within just a short amount of time, I found all 5 of those little fossilized spot things, and anywhere from down there up to about right here somewhere, I was just kind of pacing back and forth, which I plan to do again here in a second when I get back up. I made the joke that maybe being live was good luck. It kind of gave me a little good mojo. Plus, it's exciting to share this with people. Like I said earlier today, I was a little low on energy. Nature girl, I've been low on iron. It turns out I'm low on iron, and I got to go next week. Or this coming Thursday, I go to the general surgeon to discuss having the colonoscopy and stuff, and then going from there, seeing if they find anything. They're going to try to find. This looks like, look, that's a good find there. Here we go. Do y'all see it? Hold on. Yeah, that's a nice one. I'm going to keep that one, I think. What do y'all think? Yeah, look at that. Trying to get the lighting just right. Hey, Bleed Blue, what's up? What'd you say you try to get through? Oh, yeah, I know. And that's why I got out. I was low on energy, and so, Bleed Blue, I'm looking for some of these fossils here. That's what I'm out doing. It's good to see you, Bleed Blue. I hadn't seen you in a little while. I know that we kind of just randomly encounter each other. I was more consistent at one time. Yeah, so I wasn't trying to say that I'm just trying to keep my mind in the right place. And I know you know how that goes. Things are going to happen. And what I'm trying to understand is I don't know what's going on exactly. I don't know why there's bleeding going on inside. It could be a number of different things. It doesn't have to end up being the worst case scenario. And I have already talked about this. So I'm just trying to effectively let myself know the best thing I can do is not think about it right now too much. That's a pretty cool. Because regardless of what the test results are, once I get, because there's nothing I can really do about any of it until we find out what's wrong. And then once I find out what's wrong, I got to accept whatever it is. So and it might not be anything. So that's why I'm out here doing this. That after I took care of myself earlier today, when I felt kind of drained and tired after I got the day started, I just laid back down and rested for a little while. And now I have the energy to be out here moving around doing this. Right, stress. Sometimes I think the stuff that stresses me out the most is the mental hoops I put myself through, like jumping around in my mind about, especially anything that I can't really control or do anything about. That's, I think, what brings me down the most. That's a pretty cool. But I don't know if I'll keep those. But I just don't need to overthink it. Deal with it when I find out what's more. Which you're actually right, because what I've been being told, like the Spirit's been telling me to not worry and to that this is not going to be as big a thing as my mind wants me to think about. Like anything that can distract you and keep your mind from thinking, the way it should be, is not a. But I'm going to get out of that conversation there. I was just trying to talk a little bit about why I'm out here exploring, and this is the best thing I can do. Why I still have a breath and I can move around and have a little bit of fun like when I was a kid. I was talking about earlier about roaming the hills out at my granny's, and going to the boat dock over at Tim's Ford National Park. There was a boat dock my granny worked at called Morris Ferry Dock in Tennessee. Oh. Oh, yeah, I know that there's healing all around. It feels so much later than it is. I don't know. Are you still there, Bleed Blue? I don't know if you tuned out. Bleed Blue, he's a long time person. Yeah, we had a few people show up right kind of towards here, going over a little over an hour. Hey, this is not bad though. I'm enjoying being able to do these. And this is just something new. Like I've been doing how have I been doing this? I've been doing it for a little while over the, oh, this is pretty cool. Goodness gracious. Now, like I said, I can't keep every single thing. Some of these are they're so common. But the ones that I'm really trying to find are those ones that like I can fit in my pocket. You know, the little, like I hope to one day find a really good long intact specimen. That would be nice. Like a good size. It'd be nice to find one that's not broken half. Much so either. Yeah, I'm going to make something to eat when I get home. I bought some chicken livers yesterday. I'm going to make some of them. But I do have two beef patties I got to cook up. Excuse me. That I thawed out the day before last. And so I need to make sure I cook them even if I don't eat them. I'm going to cook those and have them ready to eat on. And then I think I'm going to make one of the things of chicken livers tonight as well. Because, that's rich in iron as well. So that's going to be a good thing. Did I find... Oh, whoa, I about fell. Goodness gracious. I was about to bend over. I about tripped over a rock. That sucks. At least I didn't do it. That wouldn't have been fun. I'm just kind of wandering around here, looking, seeing if my eyeballs catch anything. You're on a... Yeah, I'm on a treasure hunt. Yeah, that's what's fun is I went in and sat on a log just a little bit ago, too. I walked into the little wooded area and showed people where we sit. And Biddy crawls on that log. And, like, I didn't go all the way off and in there, but I just kind of showed everybody what it looks like. I'm kind of sweating, and when I get back today, I'm gonna like I said, I'm out here, I'm taking a walk and trying to get some activity, like physical activity in today, because sometimes even on days that you're low on energy and stuff, sometimes I have to those are the days I have to try a little harder. You know, I have to make myself kind of say, well, Grey Cloud, you know, you can either sit here and do nothing, or you can push yourself to do a little bit of something, you know, and even if that's just the smallest little walk I can get in, which has been a pretty good walk, because I walked up to I started the stream before we got to the gravel road, and then I've just been on this gravel road, and then I've been pacing back and forth looking for stones. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's like a treasure hunt. Oh, yeah, the barbecue Fritos, the shaped ones. Yeah, it does remind me of that kind of. Oh, but yeah, when I get back, one of the things I'm going to do is clean myself up. I already talked about that, though. So I'm going to wash up my body, and then I'm going to change my sheet on my bed and all that. Try to make for a better rest tonight, because David had COVID last week, and didn't go to church. And I was gonna try to walk up there, but then I wasn't feeling that great on Sunday. I did get out and stuff, but I didn't walk to church. And then but David is feeling a little bit better. He dropped off some lasagna yesterday. Matter of fact, I'm gonna eat some of that lasagna when I get back. That's something I can heat up. But I'm going to cook those 2 hamburger patties so that they're just cooked and they'll keep longer. Like, even if I don't eat them today, they'll be cooked and I can eat them tomorrow if I need to. But same with the livers. I'm going to cook some of the livers. I will eat some of the liver tonight, probably. You're very hungry now. Yeah, I'm just talking about it because I'm getting a little hungry. The only thing I ate, like I said, I ate a little earlier today, and earlier than I normally do, around 10:30 or 11, which I don't usually eat till sometime after 12, 1 o'clock or something like that usually. And then, but I made some fries, and that's just like carbohydrate, like stuff, starchy. But I did eat those. But my stomach's telling me that some of that, like, it wants something a little more filling here in a minute. That's why I'm sitting here for a second before I don't want to do too much. Anyway, so we are a little over an hour. What did I see? It's only 3:19. Like, it feels late to me. But of course we are shifting, like the days are starting to like get a little bit shorter, and it gets dark a little sooner. And then just the way that my energy has felt a little low, it also affects the way that I'm perceiving time also somewhat. I'm grateful to be alive, out here walking, to be able to have another day to look for stuff, stones, experience the pretty sky, the clouds. So my mind's thinking about what I got to do here in a minute when I get up. When I end this, I'm going to end the stream soon, and then I'm going to head journey back. I'm going to put my headphones on and walk my way back towards the trailer, and then go from there. Yeah. Well, I've got enough lasagna. When I get back, I can heat up a piece of that right off the bat and go ahead and eat that. And then that'll tide me over till I get around to cooking the anything, is what I'm thinking. It's like it's something I can go in, heat up real quick, eat it, be done, and then, think about getting cleaned up, like washing myself up and everything, and changing my sheet and all that, like doing that before I probably start cooking any of the meat. So, or, there's a number of ways I can do it. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm kind of like all of a sudden, like I'm feeling a little bit tired now. Of course, I think that's just going to be probably part of the drill until we get whatever. Like I said, like when you're low on iron, you're just low on energy anyway. And I'm taking a supplement, but like one thing for sure is until the issue is sort of worked out, I'm gonna be dealing with some of this. But yeah, I'm gonna end this and try to get up and mosey back to the trailer, guys. I appreciate every one of you. Till next time, Mr. Grey Cloud saves the eternal moment. Over and out. Ditto.